Hey Arlington Heights, Adam Harris here, your head of communications and storytelling. I'm at Thomas Middle School. It is September 12th, and I had a thought today. What do our students know about 9/11? So I went over to Thomas, grabbed a couple awesome 8th graders. That's Lucy, that's Anthony. They were born in 2009, right?
Six.
2006? Good math. And so obviously, it happened 5 years before they were born. So Lucy, can you start us off? Tell us what you know about September 11, 2001.
I know that there were 4 planes they were hijacked by terrorists, and 2 crashed into the World Trade Centers. 1 crashed in open fields in Pennsylvania, and then 1 crashed into the Pentagon.
Anthony.
Yeah, so I've heard a lot about it, I guess, and I see the towers tumbled right away, or not right away, but really quick, and that so many people died, and the first responders were big heroes there, and they helped everyone.
Yeah, that's a great description of what happened. I was a freshman in high school. I found out in the English class that was happening, and to be honest with you, I didn't really know what the World Trade Towers Center were, but then you get home and then you watch it and you're like, oh my gosh, it didn't seem real. Have you guys put yourself in that mindset of seeing that on TV, or put yourself in that mindset of wow, what if I was alive when that happened?
I can't even really imagine being there for it, because it just seems so scary that I can't, even though today the world is perhaps even more dangerous than when it was before 9/11. I can't imagine that happening nowadays, even though it could very well happen.
Yeah, I just never thought about it that way. I just hear how bad it was, but I never put myself in their shoes, and I couldn't imagine what it'd be like.
Okay, and then you guys have talked a little bit in your 8th grade social studies class. What sort of feelings, what sort of emotions, how have you heard about it, and what about 9/11 do you think, what do you take away from it?
It was just the worst day. It was awful for everyone that was involved.
Yeah, I mean, it showed us how vulnerable we really are, and we had to do something to make us more safe. So they did a lot better, and now I feel a lot more safe than probably back then.
Yeah.
You do. It's interesting. And then reflecting on the first responders, I don't know, you mentioned them as heroes. Everyone thinks that too. I think that too, the bravery. What sort of things did you take away from learning about what those first responders did in those moments?
Well, the first thing that we saw, because we've watched recordings of it, was that a bunch of paramedics and officials, they all rushed into the building knowing that they were probably going to die in it, and they didn't care. They just wanted to save people.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't even a second thought for them. They just ran in there knowing the risks, knowing that they probably weren't going to make it out, and all this stuff that was probably bad for them, but they did it anyway to save people.
I noticed when I was seeing all that happen, there was a newfound respect and just gratitude for anyone that serves in that way. I'm wondering if that kind of landed with you guys as well.
I would say so, yeah.
Definitely.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Yeah,
No.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys talking on this topic. It's been 18 years,
Yeah.
but something that I found interesting. It's been 18 years, and some teachers now that are being hired across the country are even, 24, 25, and they were very young when it happened, right? So it's reassuring in my mind to know that here in District 25, it's being discussed, and it's being, you guys are really taking it in, and, I don't know, I think it's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay, now we just say goodbye, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.